a structure stretching 2,116 kilometers, reaching from the icy deserts in the west to ending at the Yellow Sea. This extraordinary feat of engineering is so long that if someone tried to walk it, it could take up to 18 months. A military masterpiece that has witnessed thousands of battles. If you've already guessed what we're talking about, your general knowledge deserves applause. This is the Great Wall of China, one of the 7 wonders of the world, which took nearly 2,000 years to complete. Today, Historyx documentary takes you on a journey through China, unveiling pages from the history of the Great Wall, a monument shrouded in many mysteries still unsolved. Known locally as the Stone Dragon, the Great Wall is China's biggest attraction for visitors. The easiest access is from Beijing, the capital city, just a 90-minute journey away. Standing for centuries, this is the longest wall in the world and once served as China's protective shield. Most of it was built during the Ming Dynasty. Its main historical purpose was to defend China from regular northern invasions. It also played a role in border security, international trade, and cultural exchange. But in the modern era, it has become a national symbol of China and its biggest tourism magnet. Interestingly, the initial reasons for building the wall were quite different. Scholars who study Chinese history, language, and culture are called sinologists. Carl August Wittfogel, sinologist, explains that in a region called Loess, a fine sandy soil made irrigation and agriculture easier, attracting people to the Yellow River Valley. However, large-scale farming required a big labor force and a more organized government. As the crops grew, government employees helped manage harvests and storage by building granaries. To protect these, towns began forming around them, with walls erected for security. These walls protected both the grain and the people from invaders. Over time, multiple walled towns united under one ruler, forming powerful empires. As these empires expanded, China's borders became defined, and walls started encompassing cities. The broader picture was the creation of a solid northern defense system for the Chinese Empire. So why were these walls needed? A look at the geography of Russia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and China reveals vast grasslands known as the steppes, home to nomadic herders and their livestock. These nomads didn't live a settled, civilized life like the Chinese and often raided Chinese societies to obtain essentials like grain and tools, especially when trade was denied. As nomadic populations grew, so did their raids, particularly from Mongolia in the north, Manchuria in the northeast, and Xinjiang in the northwest. Of these, Mongolia posed the biggest threat, home to fierce tribes like the Xiongnu, Xianbei, Khitan, and Mongols. Mongolia, with 2/3 of its territory covered by the Gobi Desert, had limited farming potential, leading its people to adopt a nomadic lifestyle. As these southern tribes began turning towards China, the thick, impenetrable walls were built to safeguard northern China. The first emperor of a unified China, Qin Shi Huang, began the construction of these walls. Over centuries, future emperors extended and strengthened them into massive fortifications. These walls have stood for centuries, thanks to the durable clay bricks used in their construction. Millions of bricks were used. On average, the wall is 23 feet tall and 21 feet wide, with holes for soldiers to shoot arrows at enemies. Scaling it was near impossible. Watchtowers were also built, reportedly around 25,000 of them, to maintain surveillance. For centuries, the wall served as China's first line of defense. This wasn't the first massive wall built by Chinese emperors. Before this iconic brick wall, there were earlier earthen walls constructed without bricks, starting 1,500 years earlier. British historian William Lindesay, who wrote a book titled The Great Wall and trekked thousands of kilometers along it, revealed that China's northern border connects with nomadic Mongolia, where farming is difficult. The Mongols, fierce horsemen, often raided China for essentials not available in their land, becoming a major threat, especially to the Silk Road trade route. In 1550, a massive Mongol invasion reached Beijing and caused widespread destruction. The Ming Emperor Jiajing, fearing future attacks, ordered upgrades to the Great Wall, giving it its current iconic form. This became a national security matter, as the Silk Road and the entire country were at risk. The Great Wall's foundation was made using massive granite blocks, with smooth bricks laid above to make climbing difficult. Railings were added to protect patrolling soldiers. The top layer under your feet is supported by more stones. From a distance, the 13,000-kilometer-long wall looks like a giant snake slithering across the land, an engineering marvel protecting the Silk Road. So how did China, centuries ago, possess such engineering expertise? Building conservation expert Colin Richards explains that the bricks used in the Great Wall are 4 times larger than regular ones, making the wall both heavy and durable. The bricks were fired in kilns to enhance strength. This massive project employed thousands of laborers, including China's best artisans, to maintain kiln temperature and brick quality. Special techniques ensured bricks didn't crack or explode from internal moisture. Despite its grandeur, construction wasn't easy. Much of the wall crosses mountains, and transporting bricks was a challenge. The only transport, human labor. Over 1 million people toiled, enduring extreme heat and freezing winters. Many died, died, around 400,000, due to exhaustion, accidents, or starvation. Some say their bones were buried near or within the wall, though there's no hard evidence. The tradition of building walls started much earlier, in the Warring States period, when small kingdoms built walls for protection. In 221 BCE, Emperor Qin Shi Huang united them into a single empire. Geographically, China's security came from the Pacific Ocean on one side and the Tibetan Plateau on the other. But from the north, invaders like the Mongols, Turks, and Xiongnu posed constant threats. Qin Shi Huang expanded existing walls and connected them to cover vulnerable northern areas, extending from the west, Linwu, and forming what became known as the Long Wall. Labor included soldiers, civilians, and prisoners forced into service. Under the Han Dynasty, the wall expanded even more, from Dunhuang to the Bohai Sea, stretching over 5,955 kilometers, largely built by forced laborers. Ancient poems describe how laborers were buried near the wall, though remains haven't been conclusively found. Still, it's believed many died from hunger and fatigue. The wall was difficult, but not impossible to conquer. In the 13th century, Genghis Khan and his son, Kublai Khan's Mongol army, breached it. When the Ming dynasty took power in 1368, the wall was further extended and reinforced. Watchtowers sent fire signals during attacks to summon help. Arrows were fired through small holes, and stones dropped through larger ones, similar to the defense systems seen in Rajasthan's Jagar Fort. And so, the Great Wall of China stands today, an enduring testament to human resilience, engineering brilliance, and centuries of Chinese history.